Welcome to this edition of Trowel Time, coming to you from our beautiful campus here in Elma, Michigan. Welcome, and with us, as always today, behind the cameras is Ben Tigner. Ben, thank you for everything that you do. Woo-hoo! Behind the podium, Darren Thompson, taking care of all of the mailbag and upcoming events and stuff. Next to him, Dirk Hughes. Dirk will be bringing us our Masonic kind of minute, but we all know that Masonic time is longer than most other normal time, so it may be a little bit longer than a minute, but it'll be good. Up on the couch, we have Tom Braun, our Right Worshipful Grand Lecturer. Tom, thank you for being here.
Nice to be here today.
And a very special guest, one that we look forward to for several months to have him on the couch with us, is Most Worshipful Brother Bill Sauget, our Grandmaster. Bill,
thank you very much for
being here. We're very excited to have you with us. So,
well, thank you very much.
We're glad you're here. So it is mid-July. It's hot and sticky out, but it's been good. I know some of you have been golfing, some golf tournaments. Tom, you've hit some golf tournaments?
We have. We got another one coming up this Saturday.
All right. So I know Darren has in our upcoming event section of the Grand Lodge the Monday newsletter, which if you're not getting it, you need to get that. All the golf events are listed and that we know about, and I hope that that's all of them. So be sure and check that out and play some golf this summer. Is this weekend so this is being taped on the 16th?
Yeah, that's correct.
So they're saying this Saturday, if you get this before then, is supposed to be absolutely gorgeous. Talking mid-70s, no humidity. It's supposed to be beautiful. So let's get out there. I'm going driving myself, but and not a golf ball. I'm driving a car, so that's good. So Tom, why don't you tell us what's going on in the Grand Lecturer's world right now during summer? Kind of off time,
but by now everyone should have received their dispensation on closing the lodge by proclamation. Okay. And I would ask everyone that has that dispensation to use it wisely. We should never close a lodge of an entered apprentice degree by proclamation. It's our first opportunity to have that candidate and that new brother see and witness the duties of all the places and stations. Yeah? And it's another opportunity to do what's best for the candidate and not what's easiest for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
The other thing is we're getting ready for the ritual competition this year. It's laid out in Grandview and resources under the Master Mason tab. This year our competition is the charge to the Worshipful Master at the installation. So it's a nice piece of ritual that you only hear once a year, and we should go for
some nice stuff in it. Right?
It is very good stuff in.
Yeah, it's good,
and
especially if you're a master.
Absolutely,
I think it would do well for the Worshipful Master to kind of look at that each time before he opens a lodge meeting.
It would.
That's how important
it would
is.
do well. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And the last thing I would ask is the Worshipful Masters to hold practices for their officers in opening and closing the lodge and in doing the degree work. Give them an opportunity to do their work. Okay? And we are very excited. We are entering in another phase of digital technology in creating virtual study guides for the craft. Back in 2012, we created the study guide that's been out there on Grandview and the Grand Lodge website. But it's written out. You have to read it, right? We have taken all of those helpful hints that are in the study guide, and we have a virtual copy now for people to look at. We cover opening the lodge, purging the lodge, actually doing the degree, and closing the lodge. It's our goal to have consistency through the state on how we do degree work in our grand jurisdiction. That's our goal, and we're excited about trying to make it happen.
Okay. All right. Good. Thank you, Tom. There are a lot of jurisdictions that purge a lodge before they open it. Michigan isn't one of those. We don't very often do it. Indiana does it. Virginia does it. So you might want to kind of brush up on that. I think that's a good topic. Because you're always wondering then when they go through and they collect the pass, right? Well, let me think what that word was, right? And you'll see the guy that's standing next to you listening to. I have a great story but it's not for open audiences about getting purged in a lodge. So, thank you, Tom. It's always a pleasure to have you. And we're gonna take a quick break. Darren's going to talk to you about some things that are available in our store. And when we come back, we're going to be talking with the Grandmaster. So we'll be right back.
Are you looking for the latest Masonic apparel, materials, and literature from the craft? Look no more. At MichiganMasonicStore.com, you can find everything from hats and shirts to tumblers, blankets, and books. Our shirts come in a range of sizes and with logos and branding custom stitched for the Michigan Masons. Don't wait. Visit MichiganMasonicStore.com now.
Welcome back. So it's really a pleasure for us to have with our Grandmaster, Bill Sauget. He hails from Grosse Pointe Farms area.
Grosse Pointe Woods.
I'm sorry, Grosse Pointe Woods. There's a whole bunch of Grosse Pointes down there, so I'm not familiar with all of them. But it's great to have you with us, Grandmaster. So
thank you.
Thank you for being here. If you would, kind of give us a little bit about yourself, who you are, and where you're at.
Well, I'm Bill Sauget. I've been a Mason now for 47 years as of June. I took over as Grandmaster around the 20th of May. We've been doing some things since we've had an installation. One of the first things we did is we've addressed the Blue Book. There are certain things that, for whatever reason, didn't find their way into the Blue Book. We appointed a committee. Gary Paquette is heading up that committee along with Chuck Tater and Dan Snyder. And we should have that project pretty well wrapped up by Labor Day. In addition to that, I'm going to steal a little bit of time here from Tom when he spoke about closing by proclamation. For those of you that are closing by proclamation, you'll notice we've changed the ritual a little bit. We've added some things to it, not the least of which is we get everybody down on the level. So the person who is closing will ask the junior warden how do Masons meet. He'll then address the senior warden, how do they act, and then part on the square. So should we ever meet, act, and part in the name of the Lord? And then, of course, we have the closing prayer. We do have some other initiatives that are underway. For those of you that attended the annual communication, Danny Myers has put together an absolutely superb program reflecting the various differences in the generations from the old guys like me, the baby boomers, to the Gen X's, the Gen Y's, the Gen Z's, and whatever else, the Gen A squares or whatever. And it's a fabulous presentation. It's going to be given in its entirety at the Council of Deliberation, but Danny is also traveling around the state. And this is one of the projects that emanated out of the Future Program Development Committee, which is an excellent committee that's chaired by all of the Grand Lodge officers minus the Grand Master. So these are the fellows who are going to be the leaders in the future, and these are the projects that they're coming up with. We've already had 2 town halls now. We had one up in Marquette. We had another one in Alpena. We're getting ready to do one in Traverse City. I believe Darren's going to be given the dates on, though. I do know Traverse City is coming up on the 16th. What we've done so far at the town halls is we've kind of divided up the presentations a little bit. I generally kick things off by going over the legislation that was presented at the annual communication and what became of it, which reminds me, one of the things for those of you that are watching this who are secretaries in Blue Lodges, please get the report back with regard to that change to the Constitution, which was reflected in Amendment number 1. We have to have that back in so that we can act on it at the next annual communication. But in any event, I kick things off first. We then share things through our Grand Treasurer, Larry Inshaw. He lets everybody know exactly where we are financially. We then have a little bit of a report on ritual, which so far has been given by Gary Paquette. However, I understand you're going to be in Traverse City to do it. We go through that. We go through a few other things and ask the brothers if they have any questions. One of the other things that we're doing is the Right Worshipful Junior Grand Warden, Craig Lurkey, chairs the Veterans Committee, and he puts on a presentation with regard to the visitations of the various Masons who are veterans in the various facilities, as well as some of the other projects that he does. So we are active. We hit the ground running on May 21st, and my guess is we're going to be running until May 19th of 2026.
I have no doubt of it. Yeah, excellent. A lot of stuff going on. To your earlier comment, I checked the returns for the lodges about that one, the constitutional. We have 63 that have turned in their votes. There are 244 lodges in the state now, so you would need 123 positive affirmative votes for it to be seconded, but we're quite a ways off from that. We're halfway there, so I would expect that by the end of October.
Well, you've got Grand Lodge officers scurrying around the state visiting Blue Lodges, and one of the things they're telling them is, get this in. As a matter of fact, I attended a lodge in the Thumb area, and they voted on it that night.
Absolutely. Good. So 47 years, a Master Mason. What have you seen? What are your kind of observations between when you joined, which was a little bit before me, but not terribly far, and today?
Well, it's interesting. I see the same kind of commitment of individual Masons in the Blue Lodges now that I saw back then. I just see far fewer Masons in the Blue Lodges. In terms of the overall numbers, I want to say I started attending Grand Lodge in about 1982.
We're good.
Because my Blue Lodge had a requirement in those days that the wardens, as well as the master who was going to be the voting representative, had to attend Blue Lodge, and had to attend Grand Lodge. And my Blue Lodge picked up the cost for it. And I want to say back in those days, if memory serves me correctly, we had about 142 or 143,000 Masons in Michigan. Last time I looked at Grandview, when I key into Grandview, the number pops right up into my face, and we're looking at roughly 18,400 Masons right now. I would like to think that we have plateaued off, we have leveled off. It's hard to tell, but you're also seeing the same kind of drain, if you will, on membership in the appendant bodies. I know I was talking to the Sovereign Grand Commander for the North American jurisdiction for Scottish Rite, Walt Wheeler, and he's seeing the same kinds of things. York Rite is seeing the same kinds of things. So people say to me, well, what do we do? I mean, should we just, pack up our bags and close up the shop? My answer is absolutely not. There was something that brought you here to this particular fraternity in the first place. You made some very serious commitments when you knelt at that altar. And I, for one, adhere to those commitments. And like I said, when I go to a lot of these outlying Blue Lodges, and I'm talking about a lot of them in the country, and that these brothers take their Masonry very seriously. I think because of that commitment, we're going to be okay. Going back to what my original comments with regard to what Danny Myers has done in terms of his initiative, which, by the way, I told him from the beginning, I'm a firm believer that credit is due where credit is due, so that it's known as the Danny Myers Initiative. One of the things we're doing is looking at trying to encourage young men between the ages of 25 and 41 to seek us out. I've seen it in Blue Lodges where it's happened, and it works, as long as we all retain that commitment that we originally had.
That's good stuff. Yeah, my first Grand Lodge session was in 1982 as well. Yeah, it was downtown, big temple. All right? Yeah, was very interesting. So thank you for that. Thank you for what you're doing. Lots of good stuff happening. And as he mentioned, we have Grand Lodge officers scurrying all over the state. So when you see one, say hello and have a conversation with them. They're good people.
We set a goal last year of trying to visit 50% of the Blue Lodges in the state. And at the Grand Lodge annual communication this year, it was reported out that we had visited 67%.
Right. I know you'd made very, very good progress on that.
And that's just your Grand Lodge officers.
Yeah.
In addition to the Board of General Purposes getting out there, and the DDIs, regional grand lecturers, and everybody else.
Yeah. We've got a great group, and their sole intent is the preservation and success of our lodges. So let's keep that in mind. All right. We're going to take a real quick break. We'll be right back, and Darren will be talking to us with what is in the mailbag and upcoming events, and then we'll we'll go into Dirk's Masonic Minute. We'll be right back.
Every day we make choices. Choices to help ourselves, choices that help those around us. When it's time to make a choice about your senior living options, consider Masonic Pathways. We offer choices for entertainment, socialization, and most importantly, choices that make life easier for you. When it's time to discuss choices in your life, make Masonic Pathways your first choice and contact our care team today.
Welcome back, everybody. Darren, take it away with our mailbag.
Oh yes, wait a minute, Mr. Postman. Hey.
All right, question number 1 comes to us from Scott Kuzma at Zion Lodge number 1. He wants to know, are there any lodges specifically in Michigan for the hard of hearing? He cites a lodge in Indiana under dispensation that is solely for the purpose of performing degrees for those with disabilities, and wants to know if we have any such.
In our jurisdiction, we have no lodges dedicated to the hard of hearing. But what we do is we have a brother out of Mount Morris Lodge who signs, we have taken in a couple of brothers who are deaf, and he has performed the ritual for them through their degrees. So that's one option that we have.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk over the years about putting our ritual books in Braille and some other things that we can do, and we're certainly open to that. Now, so much of it is also voice available or hearing available, so that might not be the best way to do that, but we're always open to how we can better fit that those needs into our agenda and our curriculum and what we do. So, yeah, it's a good question. And certainly, we encourage that to happen. And if you need more information about it, don't hesitate to contact Tom. He'll be happy to get you together with our brother from Mount Morris Lodge.
And if any other brothers out there know ASL, let us know.
I know
to help out.
I know several brothers down in Buchanan that sign and have been doing that for years. I don't know that they've signed for the fraternity, but I do know they signed for the court. So they're there. There's not a lot of those brothers, but they're certainly there. So,
okay. And then we have a few from our buddy Charles Garrow up there in Cadillac.
All right.
He would like to know, what is the proper way to enter or retire from a tiled lodge while in session?
Well, if you have to leave the lodge while it's in session, you would simply go to the senior warden, salute the senior warden, salute the flag, and exit the inner door of the lodge.
Correct.
Coming back in, it would just be the opposite. You would come in, salute the flag, salute the senior warden. That's how it's done.
And you come in through the inner door. You don't need to knock or anything. Just come back in through. You're still technically in a tiled lodge. So that's exactly how I would have done it.
Excellent.
Good.
All right. And also from Brother Garrow, as it is the right of any member to object to the admission of a non-member into his lodge, when is an appropriate time for a member to make that objection?
Well, I would think that if a brother is, before lodge is opened, and he does not want to sit in lodge with him, he should simply tell the worshipful master at that point, and the worshipful master can convey that to the brother that is visiting, that he's not welcome to sit.
Yeah,
I would add to that you don't disclose who it was who made the objection.
Correct. Right. And I would add that you do it before you're open.
If you can, that's what all
Don't do it after you're open. That's, unless the individual is waiting outside and then is going to be brought in or something along those lines. But
at that point, though,
and do it discreetly.
Junior deacon is doing his job. He will announce who the brother is that's waiting outside.
Correct.
So if anybody knows him and objects to that person's admission, we can do it at that time.
Sooner better, and discreetly. So,
okay. And the final question, who should get a personal invitation to join a sitting worshipful master in the East? Is there certain criteria to follow?
Well, we talked about if there's a Grand Lodge officer present or a Grand Lodge representative, that would be the top tier to be invited to the East. And any sitting master or past master would be invited also if nobody else is there.
To go along with that, as a corollary to that, oftentimes, if, for example, it's the Grandmaster that's coming in and I realize that I've got a dog in this particular fight, not only should he be escorted to the east, but once he is escorted to the east, you should give him grand honors. And in addition to that, offer him the gavel. I can tell you, we as Grand Lodge officers have already discussed an informal protocol, if you will, as to what we should do when we go into the east and the gavel is conveyed or handed to us. We'll say, thank you very much, and then I return the gavel to the worshipful master so he can go ahead and conduct his lodge. That's what we do. It's not written in stone, but that's just an informal thing that we do.
And there's also a protocol for the master to remove his hat. Is that correct at that time?
Yes. I have instructed a worshipful master recently that there's no two hats that are in a lodge. When I come walking in, I'll be the only one wearing one.
Yeah. I would also stipulate, though, that, to sit in the east or to join the worshipful master in the east is really a decision made by the worshipful master. I don't know that there's any written protocol for what that is. So if it's a special guest, if it's perhaps a speaker who's from another place, and that you just want to afford him that courtesy, or her, as the case, it wouldn't be a tile lodge, of course, but that's the master's discretion.
Okay. Yeah. And then we have one comment to read from our last episode. There was a comment posted on YouTube, and we'll read the comments as long as they're, readable.
Yes.
The internet being what it is.
Some of those have not been.
But one of the topics...
We are keeping track, so...
One of the topics that came up last month was, I believe you were visiting Tecumseh Lodge, and
I did, yeah.
Junior Warden, Brother Nick Martin, filled in and did the degree.
Yeah.
Did a great job. And
Great.
at J.Wilson641 says, great job, brothers. Nick Martin is a stud.
I don't know that. That's beyond my scope of knowledge of Nick, but...
So there's been some debate before the show if J.Wilson641 was an alias of Nick's.
Of Nick, we don't know.
Or possibly Sheila's, right? But either way, we wanted to get that on record.
And I second that sentiment. So, yeah, good stuff. All right.
All right, that will close up the mailbag. If you have any questions you'd like answered, send them to that email address on your screen, dthompson@grandlodgemi.org.
Thank you, brothers, for those questions. Keep them coming. We love getting them, and we love reading them on the air. And with that, we'll segue straight into upcoming events. Darren, take it away.
All right, some of our upcoming events. First is our annual outing with Prince Hall to Jimmy John's Field in Utica for a ball game. That is going to be Saturday, August 9th. Tickets are available now. You can find a link on the Grand Lodge calendar in your weekly Hiram's Herald. Posted on Facebook, many places, or just call the office and I'll direct you how to get those tickets. Always a good time. The town halls that Grandmaster mentioned are resuming August 16th at 11 a.m. in Traverse City. Saturday, September 20th at the Grand Rapids Temple. That's at 10 a.m. And the final one, potentially, is Saturday, October 11th at the temple in Westland, home of Wayne and Garden City Lodges. That'll be at 10 a.m. And there's possibility another one coming, but to be determined. Yes. So we will make that announcement.
Okay.
And then Saturday, September 27th, Grand Rapids number 34 is having their 175th anniversary celebration. That will be at 5 p.m. Tickets are available at the same places I mentioned on the calendar in your weekly Hiram's Herald. There's a QR code. We posted on the Facebook page as well. And one more item, Saturday, October 18th, there will be a reception at the Grand Rapids Airport Sheridan in honor of our new Grand Marshal Todd Schmitz and our Junior Grand Deacon Ryan Binkley. More details to come. We don't have the ticket link up yet, but save that date, Saturday, October 18th.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. That's all. Where can they find out anything about events?
Anything about events, check your weekly Hiram's Herald. If you're not getting that in your inbox, you can go to MichiganMasons.org under the news and sign up. We also post a link to the news on our Facebook page, so look up Michigan Masons on Facebook. Go to MichiganMasons.org. We have the whole Google Calendar there. Any number of ways to find out what's going on.
Lots of information.
And if it's a Grand Lodge event, it'll be on your Grandview calendar as well.
As well, yes. Plus your lodges.
Plus your lodge events, yep.
Those things on Grandview. So, if you don't know what's going on, you got to take some initiative and find some places. There's so much information that we've got available to you, and we really want you to be active and to go to lodge and to do the things that are really meaningful to the fraternity. And speaking of things that are meaningful to the fraternity, we'll now move over to Dirk. Brother Dirk will now advance to the podium for the Masonic Minute. Dirk, take it away.
And I don't believe in time.
Thank you, Bob. Let's get right to business. Time's ticking. Don't want to waste any valuable time with the Masonic Minute.
You've already wasted quite
Here we go.
right there. So
Okay, July is his birthday month, so we're doing our Masonic Minute on Brother Henry Ford, industrialist, founder of the Ford Motor Company, business innovator, and Freemason. He was born July 30th of 1863, so if you are celebrating his birthday, you have about 2 weeks to buy him a gift. He was born at the family farm in Springwells Township near Detroit. Brother Ford graduated from the 8th grade, but he never attended high school. Instead, he credits 2 significant events in 1875 at the age of 12 he felt guided him in his later success: receiving a pocket watch as a gift which he dismantled and reassembled many times to understand how it worked, and seeing the operation of a Nichols and Shepard road engine tractor, what he referred to as the first automobile other than horse-drawn he had ever seen. And if you see a picture of one of these things, it doesn't look like your normal automobile. He started repairing and building engines in the 1880s and worked for a division of Edison Electric in the 1890s before founding the Ford Motor Company in 1903. Brother Ford's success was solidified by the debut of the Model T automobile in 1908, an inexpensive, easy to operate, and easy to repair alternative to other automobiles available at the time. And by 1918, half of the cars in the United States were Model Ts. To accommodate the growing production of the Model T, Brother Ford introduced the first moving assembly line into his plants in 1913. The Model T was the only car Ford offered for the next 19 years, when and only in black. Only one color. When in 1927, with a total production run of over 15 million Model Ts, he finally replaced it with the Model A. His success continued to grow, and by 1932, he was manufacturing 1/3 of the world's automobiles. Brother Ford was a complicated man in many ways. The only one we'll touch on today is his staunch opposition of labor unions, but his fervent support of what he called welfare capitalism that prioritized employee satisfaction by more than doubling their hourly weekly pay and introducing the 5-day work week. He felt happy employees would increase profits, and he was right. Like many ambitious businessmen, Brother Ford dabbled in other industries as well, such as aviation and publishing, but it was his car company that would stand the test of time. Brother Ford was a life member of Palestine Lodge 357 in Detroit, being raised a master mason there in 1894, almost a decade before starting his famous car company. He passed away at the age of 83 in 1947 at his estate in Dearborn. Now, I know I've already gone over, but I want you to squeeze in another minute for the, I think is a wonderful trivia question. Do I have permission?
yes.
I'll take that as a yes. Masonic trivia. To honor the impact or his impact on the world, Brother Ford was nominated to receive the 33rd degree by the Scottish Rite Northern Masonic Jurisdiction at their Supreme Council meeting in September of 1940. But there was one small glitch. He wasn't even a Scottish Rite member yet. So what they did on December 6th, they got together, initiated him into the Scottish Rite, spent the day giving him all the required degrees to bring him to the Sublime Prince of a Royal Secret 32nd degree. And then at 9 p.m., a special session of the Supreme Council got together and conferred the 33rd degree on him. And in my knowledge, that's the quickest anybody has ever gone from joining the Scottish Rite to getting a 33rd degree. I think that's decent trivia. Thank you for the additional time.
Yeah, that's clout. You know, that's
Clout.
power.
They don't do that for just anything.
They don't do that for just anybody. Didn't do it for me.
No.
So, yeah.
Thanks.
Great. Thank you, Dirk.
Excellent job.
Just as an aside to that, one of the most fascinating books I ever read about Henry Ford is entitled The Electric City. I can't remember who the author of it was, but find the book, The Electric City. It's a story about Henry Ford and Thomas Edison, and it is the most amazing thing that never happened. So I encourage it. The Electric City. It's a great book. All right. Thank you to our audience. We had two folks I neglected to introduce, but we have Fred Kaiser, past Grandmaster, in the back there. Cheryl, we're glad you're here. Thank you for being with us. It makes the room, I mean, the only thing you got back there otherwise is Dirk, and, and I'm not saying anything, but I'm saying something, So anyway, Darren, are we going to wrap this up?
I just realized I have the right colors here, but I forgot the flag, so I'll just say good night, Sweden.
Good night, Sweden. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next time on Trowel Time. Thank you, Grandmaster, for being with us.
Thank you.